Besties, wake up. Wake up. Skims just launched activewear. I am surprised that they haven't launched activewear before, unless they have and I've just missed it. I've tried my fair share of Skims on this channel, but I don't follow them like super closely. I've liked some of their stuff, but I'm not like, you know, a Skims, I don't know, fan? Would you say? So if you didn't know, Skims is Kim Kardashian's clothing line, usually more like loungewear, compression, shapewear items. So we've tried their loungewear, we've tried their shapewear, and they announced they were launching compression performance activewear. So I bought all of it. So they didn't make this by themselves, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. So they partnered with Skims. So the brand is Skims with an M, but they partnered with Skims with an N. So I've never heard of this, but apparently it is a compression brand, compression technology. So they say it is powered by Skims compression, which claims to wick away moisture. There's a lot of claims. Get ready for these claims. I don't like when we see all these claims when it's literally just clothing. But anyway, wick away moisture, accelerate circulation with compression, reduce muscle fatigue and vibration, keep you running longer, regulate temperature, and UV protection. So compression does increase blood flow. That's why some people wear those long compression socks when they're walking around a lot, if they have like varicose veins, or if they're on like a long flight or something, people wear compression socks. So I'm expecting to be squeezed in this collection. And if you're regulars on this channel, that's not like my go-to activewear, but I do definitely see a purpose. I just have to say I'm a little surprised that this is what Skims came out with for activewear. It's giving expensive Nike Pro. Like the colors are kind of meh. I have become a fan of brown tan neutrals, but the shiny brown, something about it just rubs me the wrong way. So I wouldn't say any of the activewear today is cute. I would say, honestly, it just better be very functional for the way that it looks and the price. Guys, I already knew I was reviewing this. So when I review stuff, sometimes I don't really look at the price until afterwards because I'm buying it for the review anyway, so it's gonna get bought. The tops are $78 and $98, and the leggings are $118 and $128. There are so many high quality things you can get for like $50 to $80, and even that I would consider not a low price. So to be $130 for leggings, they would have to be truly life-changing for me, you know? So since this is all compressive gear, I guess it kind of makes sense with Skims' whole like shapewear, but like, is this shape activewear? Just, I don't know. Anyways, I followed the size chart and it says I should be around a small, that's like a 4 to 6 range. But then after I purchased, you look at all the models and it says the model is a size 2. Which on their size chart should be an extra small, but she's wearing a small. So I guess I followed the size chart, but Skims did not. So I'm a little concerned. Like, why put a size chart for you to post like one model on the website and that they're not even following the size chart? That just makes me a little concerned. You have to have an accurate size chart because it's a fully online brand. Like, I know guys, it's just tough. Anyways, this stuff is expensive, but we're gonna keep an open mind. Even though I don't love like super compressive gear, we're still gonna evaluate if this is a good value for the money and if maybe it does some of the claims that it is claiming. So let's get started. Shall we start with the leggings? I feel like we should. So the black sold out really quickly. It was still in stock when I was shopping because I shopped like pretty close to the beginning of the launch, but I didn't want black because it's hard to like see on camera. All right, so we are going to start out with the high-waisted stirrup leggings. I have not seen like a stirrup anything since I was in like elementary school taking lyrical classes when we had stirrup tights. Like, I didn't know people were still doing stirrup leggings, and I'm a little nervous because they only come in one length. For the size range that Skims has, I'm surprised that they only do one length. So these are the $128 leggings. Okay, so first of all, the fabric feels pretty thin and it's like a different fabric on the waistband. I just am not anticipating that these will be flattering at all. And there are quite a few strings hanging out, which normally like a string or two, I kind of just brush it off, like whatever. But if I'm paying $128 for leggings, potentially the most expensive leggings I've ever purchased, I don't want to see this. The quality control needs to be on point. And this is why I don't love Skims, guys. I have had so many issues with Skims quality. I had a pair of their underwear just rip like the second I put it on. I had a shirt come in with like pink marker marks all over it. I've just had some really questionable stuff and this is no different. So here I was thinking that this activewear would be life-changing. Anyways, so the inseam on these is a 28.75, which normally 28 hits me around my ankles. So I'm not so sure this is going to fit all the way around my foot. If you guys don't know what a stirrup legging is, this little cutout is gonna go around your heel, and then this section is going to go kind of under the arch of your foot. So let me show you some of the fabric differences here. So this is that brown color again. So the top, this is kind of what I imagined the fabric to be. So we have this kind of like knit, sleek material, seems very pill resistant, very scratch resistant. This is super compressive and nice and thick. So this is what I imagine. We are not having sheer leggings for $128. Guys, I don't understand this fabric choice. And then you can see the fabric completely changes from this thicker material here to a kind of like thin, unstructured material on the bottom. And I'm not understanding how we're going to get all of those like compressive benefits with a thin fabric like this. This fabric and these seams on the side are nearly identical to the airy Real Me leggings, which that fabric is kind of on the thin, delicate side. So it's definitely not what I expected out of this. And for reference, this is me through the leggings. So anyways, we don't have any pockets. There's a couple seams down the side. Seams in the back are straight across, not going to be very flattering. We do have a top band as well, potential for cutting in. And I kind of expected there to be a pocket somewhere, but let's try this on. What sort of Olympic event am I doing in these stirrup tights, guys? What am I doing? This is a look. It's a look. I just can't believe they came out with only 2 pairs of leggings, and one of them is a stirrup and one of them is a capri. That is not what the activewear market is these days. Kimberly? Okay, first of all, these leggings, atrocious, okay? I know some people like mid to low rise leggings. Most people don't. Most people don't. Most people like a little bit of a higher rise. I am most people. Oh, and they're gaping like heck in the back. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was worried this would all be too tight because the size 2 model was wearing a size small, and I am not a size 2. Yet here I am with an incredibly gaping waistband. If I'm a little out of breath, it's because I just tried on a bunch of things and sprinted in place. So we're gonna ignore that, all right? Okay, I'm gonna roll this up so we can fully appreciate the low rise of these leggings. It's been a minute since we've gotten a low rise legging here, but that's what we have today. We have a low rise. We have a band at the top, but because these are a little bit big on me back here, the band is not cutting in. I'd say these are not running too small. I really thought this would be too small on me. I'd say pretty true to size. You can kind of go either way. I feel like I honestly might size down if in between because I'm really not getting much compression. The only thing I'm getting here is a pancake butt because there's just no contouring happening to the glutes here. But the rest of the legging, these are not compressive. Like if there's one thing I expected out of this collection, it was compression in the legs. And guys, I'm getting like a light to medium compression at the max. The waistband isn't even compressive. We do get a little dip down in the waist here, little lower tummy control because this area is a double thickness. And then we have the back. I've seen worse. I've seen worse. Let me go look in the mirror. Okay, so I'll give it that the waistband is going above the glutes, but there's nothing else to flatter the glutes. So we're gonna give, I don't know, I'm gonna say a low to medium on the booty scale, maybe a medium, could be worse. These are not going to be cellulite friendly. This fabric is incredibly thin. Any little thing shows on these leggings. So it's thin and it's shiny, and that is a recipe for highlighting cellulite. So would not consider these cellulite friendly. They have a good amount of vertical stretch, so I was able to get the stirrup on just fine. I mean, I see the point in a stirrup. I actually don't really see the point in a stirrup. I mean, I guess if you just want to like put your socks on, put your shoes on and look like the leggings are just going into the shoe, then sure. But I don't know if I've ever tried a stirrup legging before. I think I've only had stirrup tights. Okay, anyone who danced as a kid is gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But the sun-kissed color of those like shiny, oh, what's the brand? Were they Capezio tights? The sun-kissed stirrup tights, the tan stirrup tights, let's see. They were like these awful shiny brown stirrup tights. Yes, the Capezio shimmer stirrup tights. I'll post a picture on the screen. Oh my gosh, it's literally what these are. The brown, the shiny brown. These are, oh my God, that's why I hate these so much. I hated those tights. First of all, like I'm pale and they all made us wear like the same color brown tights, which like, you know, there's people with different skin tones. We need different skin tone tights, like from dark to light. We need them all. Not just like this orangey brown shiny tight that just like looked awful in our dance costumes. That is what these are. Bad memories, okay. Also, we have a front seam. The crotch isn't even all the way up on me in these tights. Like, I'm calling them tights, they're leggings. The crotch isn't even all the way up on these leggings for me. We're still getting a little camo action. So these are gonna be an absolutely not for me. All right, let's try out the long sleeve top. Okay, so the performance long sleeve top, size small, $98. So the set of the stirrup leggings and this together is over $200 for an activewear set. I don't even think Lululemon is that expensive. So here's the top. The very top part is that thinner material, the more sleek material, and then the bottom part is that denser, more compressive fit. This is pretty sheer too. Everything is sheer. With the thickness of the fabric, I'm just really surprised. Like again, like this is me through the thicker fabric, and I feel like that's actually even more see-through. I'm not understanding this, guys. Okay, so we have some kind of like under bust contour detail with the difference in the fabrics. Then we have a reflective S logo. So this is the logo for Skims with an N, which seems to be very prevalent on everything. I don't think it's very cute. I wish they made it a little bit smaller because it's quite large. And a little Skims logo down the side. Sleeves look pretty long, but there are no thumb holes. All right, so they chose the thinnest part to be the very top. And then they did not come with a sports bra. You launched 5 things in the whole collection and not one of them is a sports bra. So I'm just gonna throw some cup pads in so we can hide any nippage that might go on because this is thin fabric. Like so much as a cold breeze passes by me, headlights are on. Okay, so that's the best we're gonna do here. I just feel like I really struggle to find anything good to say. This is probably the worst Skim stuff I've tried so far. Just by looks alone. Like, it's not cute. I really am not a fan of this fabric. I feel like, especially on the leggings, you'll see like there will just be like little dirt marks and just like little like weird texture things in the fabric that I feel like it would not hold up well to wear because it looks like I already have some like pilling on the elbow pit area, which I just put this on. I have not worn this for a workout. I was gonna wear this stuff for a workout test, but I honestly don't know if I can do it. Anyways, the sleeves are very long, which makes me think, why is there no thumb hole? Because I am tall, I have long arms. There should be a thumb hole here because it goes all the way to my fingers. So if you're not going to do that, then it just kind of gets a little bit baggy at the wrists. You have the Skims logo here. I'm really not feeling very compressed anywhere except for like my arms. Like it's definitely snug in the arm area. Seems pretty stretchy. I feel like this fabric is not going to hold up well to sweat. That's just like my general feeling with this. And then I don't like that this bottom part, like if this is supposed to be a compressive area, and I followed the size chart, guys. I followed the size chart. This is loose. Like I thought this was supposed to like compress like the tummy area here, which normally people look for like lower belly compression, but just not really understanding the purpose of the compressive band around here. So generally I would say true to size. If you're in between, I might size down because it's pretty stretchy and I don't know, I don't like how this is loose. I would have rather had this tighter. We have kind of a slightly scooped neck at the top here, and the length is like a mid-length crop. So it's not super cropped, and if these leggings were high rise, we would not be showing any skin, but since the leggings are kind of like low to mid rise, we are showing a little bit of skin. I just am not feeling like my best self in this outfit, okay? I'm just not. I feel like the Skims bodysuit was like, wow, look how it snatches you, flatters your waist and everything. I'm not feeling very flattered. I'm not feeling like this is doing what Skims thought it would do. Like, why come out with this whole collection? I don't know. So I rarely get to try things for sweat-proofness, but because this is a long sleeve and I am a human, I sweat in my underarms, we've now found out that this is actually not very sweat wicking. Like it's normal to see a little underarm sweat in a long sleeve for me, but I'm not even working out. This is more than I would normally see. So it's also not sweat friendly. I thought the whole point of this was to be like sweat wicking. Like I thought sweat wicking would mean that you maybe like wouldn't see every little bit of sweat. Apparently not. Okay, let's try on some bike shorts. So there were only 5 things that launched in this entire collection and I got all of them. So these are the bike shorts. Like just tell me this waistband is not gonna be unflattering in the back. Like why are we designing unflattering things? I don't get it, okay? I don't get it. I must not be the target audience for this, but this looks to be a low rise, if you ask me. I do appreciate a slight dipping down in the waistband in the front, maybe a little lower tummy control there. Again, we do have a top band. The seams look a little bit better on the shorts, and the bottom is still that kind of thinner material, and hopefully they're thick thigh friendly. So they say that these are a 6-inch inseam. Here's some more about Skims. So it says, constructed with the Skims proprietary Power Short and Series 5 warp knit compression. These shorts support your muscles and promote blood flow during and post workout. Features reflective branding and medium skins compression. I don't know, guys. I've never heard of this Skims brand before today. Anyways, let's try it on. So, guys, this is just so low for me. I am normally wearing leggings that are like at least belly button. These are like oh my gosh, what? There's no front seam on these shorts. Where did the front seam go? Why did the leggings have the front seam, but not the shorts? Well, thank you, Kim. Now I can actually pull these up and we won't be having a raging camel situation. So, okay, no front seam on the shorts. That's a little plus. I still really don't like them. They're still definitely a mid to low rise. Again, we have that band on the top. These ones, like they just like if you watch when I squat, the waistband just slides right down and dips down in the back. Like they just are not staying up well. These ones have more compression, I think because they're just squishing my poor little thighs. So these are not thick thigh friendly. I'm feeling pretty sausaged up in this thigh area. Yeah, there's just not quite enough space down there. So this is the first piece that I felt compressed in, but I don't feel compressed up here. I just feel compressed right at the bottom of my thighs where people aren't really asking for compression. Like we see them being a little squished out of these. So not thick thigh friendly. Overall compression on these, medium to high, potentially. Still, not really flattering on the glutes. We have that giant logo on the back. I think they deserve a medium on the booty scale. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're going above the glutes there. I'm not really getting squished down, but this fabric is just not really like gonna contour or hug your shape at all. And again, not really cellulite friendly. These are supposed to be a 6-inch short, so they probably will stay put on me. We'll might as well do our squat test. And yeah, it seems like they're staying put well. This is just not what I expect out of $100 shorts. Like if I'm gonna spend $100 on shorts, it wouldn't be these. I was gonna say maybe Lululemon, but they also have front seams and I don't like that either, so I don't really buy from there. And again, the waistband that should be offering compression is not really compressing. So maybe that's a good thing because it would squish into the sides a lot here, but you know what guys, you know, like be honest. This is not my best look. I'm not looking my best. And I'm feeling like they're getting closer and closer to my underwear every time I squat there, so it's gonna be a no. And this collection is small, so we have one more pair of leggings. These are just the regular leggings. So these are the Performance high-waisted 7/8 legging. These are only a 23.5-inch inseam. So these are capris. These are not 7/8, these are capris. So not excited about that. I got the gray color. Everything looks about the same except for some slight details at the bottom. I feel like mine has like a little stain. Like it's very subtle and I know I'm nitpicking, but I feel like there's a slight little dark stain right there. And it's not there on the other side. It's very subtle, but these are $100 leggings, $120. Let's try it on. Okay, the regular leggings, better than expected. Did they call these high-rise leggings? These are all called high-waisted stirrup leggings. They called these all high-waisted. Do we need to learn what a high waist is? That makes everything so much worse. This is the lowest rise I've tried in months. Like what? Oh my God, okay, that's wild. Anyways, low rise on these, maybe low to medium. We could do low to medium rise, okay? We'll give her that. Top band, again, not a lot of compression. Overall compression for these, I just am not really feeling much compression. So I'm gonna give them like light to medium compression. Again, this fabric, like I just feel like there's like little like marks on the fabric that I did not make. And because this fabric is shiny, it like just shows everything, that it's just gonna show every little detail. So we got the seams that are also pretty shiny. Big logoing, like it's very industrial. That's my feel with this, industrial. Front seam causing, you know, minor problems, not the worst, not the best. I don't know, like the back, it would be worse if this went lower, but it's just, I feel like it's not contouring the glutes well. So again, medium, low to medium booty scale. These only come in one length and it's a 23.5-inch inseam. It's appearing longer on me than I thought. I just would like if they came out with multiple lengths. And then these still just feel like there's nothing really holding them up. So I just don't feel like they would really stay up very well, you know? Yeah, I mean, all of these are really gonna be a no for me. Not a big fan. So all these are really gonna be a no for me. Not only are they not compressive, which is shocking, because the way they talk about compression in this collection, I expected these to be like the most compressive leggings I've ever had. This thin material is just not going to be compressive. And the waistband didn't really provide any compression. Something is up, something's up. So not much else to say other than I'm disappointed. Okay, the last item is the Performance Racerback tank. And this is a size small, $78, the cheapest thing by far. I think it's a little surprising that there's no sports bra in this collection. This top, I can just tell you right now, is not going to be enough support for me to not wear a sports bra underneath. It's a thin fabric at the top, so for sure gonna get nippage. There's no cut pads or anything. I'm gonna flip it inside out. It's literally a single lined tank top for $80. I feel like a fool buying these things. So we have the bold Skims and Skins logo in the back. Thinner fabric up at the top, and like the long sleeve, we have the thicker fabric. This one has a little more of a scooped kind of bust detail there, give you a little more shape. I'm feeling more confident about the sizing now. Let's try it on. Before I throw on the cut pads, I just wanted to show you how thin this fabric was. So we're getting some nippage. It's actually hot in my apartment. It's not even cold. And we're getting nippage. So I'm gonna pop these in so we can review these. Okay, so we're having the same little flaring issue that I had on the long sleeve top. This is something that really bothers me with tops like this. Especially if this is the compressive area, this should be snug, you know? I just don't think an extra small is my size for tops. Like if anything, I'm more of like a small to medium, and I bought a small. A little confused about that. I do like the little scooping detail. I think that's cute. Again, it's just like too shiny for me. I think shiny often looks cheap, and I do feel like this is giving cheap. There's no support going on in this top area. Not only is there no built-in bra, but it's also way thinner than any other part of the top. So I just don't know why you would make a top and then make the bra area like super thin when they didn't even come out with a sports bra to wear under it. Like that just doesn't seem like a very comprehensive activewear collection for me. And then we have the back. It's just like, it's giving Nike. Like if I'm gonna wear a huge logo, might as well have Nike Pro back there, because that's what this feels like. Nike Pro you can get for cheap at like Marshall's, TJ Maxx. I wouldn't be spending the $80 it is on this top. So generally true to size down if in between, especially if you have a smaller waist, because you're gonna get some gaping here, and really no support to be offered here. It's generally a very basic top. There's nothing special. You know, there's something special, and I wanted something special out of Skims activewear. Okay guys, that's it for the review. We would do a keep or return section, but clearly all of this is going back. I haven't had the best history with Skims. I really did expect this to maybe not be my cup of tea, but at least be like a good line of compression activewear, but none of it was staying up. It was just all sliding down. It shows a lot of sweat. They called it a high rise, and it's literally a low rise, and the fabric is just very unflattering. So to be disappointed is an understatement. I don't know if any of you guys tried this line and liked it or didn't like it. Comment down below. I love to get multiple opinions. Also comment down below any requests for future reviews. If you made it this far, make sure to thumbs up, and if you're not yet subscribed, make sure to do it. It's free. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.